the audio over everything. So let's go. Hi and welcome to another episode, and what we've got here is an iPhone 15 Pro Max. And as you can see, I've had it for a little while. I've been playing around with it and everything like that. It's Monday, I've had it since last Wednesday. I've had any problems with any heating problems, I haven't shattered it. I have seen the 80 Hertz in some apps sort of thing though, I've seen that sort of problem. Hopefully that's fixing up that it. But I'm coming directly from a Samsung S22 Ultra. I've been using Android for donkey years now. Last time I had an iPhone, it was the S3GS or whatever it was called. But anyway, this is a 15 and I had a 3 version. I've been using the Samsung for some time now, and I found them to be good. And before that I had like a Sony Android phone. Anyway, why have I made a leap is that thing right there, you, the viewer. And it's for the camera. I want to basically improve the camera quality a little bit if I can, because that thing up there can do 40 hertz can do 4K at 25 hertz, no HDR. This of course can do 4K at 60 hertz and HDR, so hopefully it's going to be a little bit of improvement, as I say. Who knows? Let's get on with it though. First things first, let's do the screen protector on. There's probably a lot of people shouting at me now in the comments going, you don't need a screen protector, it's got Gorilla Glass or whatever the fancy glass is called on the iPhones. Yeah, I always run a screen protector and I always run a case. It's just the way that I have. But donkey years, I always end up after 2 years or 3 years contract, my phone looks pretty much as good as it did the day it came out of the factory. So it's why I do it, because when it comes to selling it off, you got a little bit more chances of getting a bit more cash, and the cost of everything, it just, I don't know, it works well for me. Anyway, I'm going to use this screen protector. I haven't used this one before. I've used one for the Samsung where I put it in the contraption and it applied it for you, and this is what I've got for the iPhone. So Whiskin, pursue forever. As I've already said at the beginning of this, I've had to redo the audio, so you're not going to hear all flappy boxes and everything like that. So good for you, really. I do want to point out though that I haven't been sponsored by any of the people that, or any of the companies that I've using on this iPhone today. Would be nice to be sponsored, but I'm not. In the meantime, why not check in the links in the description for my Patreon? Hint, hint. Anyway, let's have a look at this. We've got bits and pieces here. Well, we've got some panda stickers, some instructions. Don't really need them. And Insulis tools. So basically, we've got bits here if we need to clean it up. And this is the QR code, so you can learn how to do the video officially, or you can have an idea on what to do by just watching my video. So I'm going to clean the screen off and get it in there, and let's see how easy it is to apply it. And for me, when it comes to screen protectors, it always seems to be the first one doesn't work so well, but then the second one does. So it took a bit of messing around. Obviously you can see all the rubbish I've got here now of cleaning it off, using stickers to bring up lint, using the glasses cleaner type thing to, you know, clean the screen off. So I believe I've got no dust, so let's have a go at applying it. I'll lay it down like this. All the way down, and we pull this bit. And now we've got to use the top of the case. Maybe if I hold it properly it would work better. Hold the bit there and pull it across. And as we can see, as I already thought there would be, there's bubbles. Yay. I think what I'll do is just pop this one off and try it again, because if these bubbles don't come out very well, I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to try again. There seems to be a fair few bubbles. Well, here's the second call, and this time around what I'm going to do is wipe down the inside on the floppy bit on the inside and left hand side. It'll make sense when I apply it. Yeah, all that down there needs to be wiped down before you put your phone in and clean it all up. So clean that down first before you do the phone. You can sort of see that it's trying to seal itself already. But let's do it again. It's obviously not doing it so well because it is sort of wobbling around, so I don't think the roll is particularly smooth. It does take a bit of strength to do this, by the way. It's just yeah, it takes a little bit of strength. It's not particularly smooth in doing it. I think the bubbles that are there are actually the screen protector, if that makes any sense. Let's put it away. And this time we've got even less bubbles. But let's not whinge about it and see if we can push these bubbles out. This time around it was actually quite easy to push the bubbles out of the way. As always, if you can just sort of push the bubbles across to other bubbles, so it'd be easier to push one big bubble off to the side of the screen. That little bit you see on the left hand side looks like a bubble, but it isn't. That's just that's the camera. Simple as that. But as I say, on the left hand side, wipe all of it down on the left hand side so that when it comes to putting it down, it doesn't put more lint and dust back onto the phone. I think that should be part of the steps of what they mention inside there. Okay, it might look like it's got a mirror finish as stuff. It hasn't. It really hasn't got a mirror finish at all. It just looks like it in this particular shot. That's it. You can see yourself reflected in it, of course, when you're looking at it in a dark bit with a bit of light on you, but not much more than what you do with just a normal iPhone. But now the screen is protected. There is a little bit of an edge to it, but I'm going to put this in a case anyway, so it's no real problem for me. I'm going to still turn it on. Kind of funny that I've got an apples directly in, particularly the lens of the camera that's recording at the moment. Still waiting for it to boot. I'm just going to log in. Click, 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 click. Because there is a bit of glare, it could act a bit like a privacy thing, really, when other people are trying to look over your shoulder. But when I'm actually using it, it's no more. Really, what you've got here is my overhead light reflecting off of it and everything. So when the camera's trying to keep up, it's really nice to use. It makes no difference to using it than it would do just touching the screen. Anyway, let's get on with the next bit. This case is a Tech 21. It's a Flex Shock stuff, Evo Max. It's got 2 lanyards you don't really need, but it does have MagSafe on the back of it, which is very useful. Anyway, with the Flex Shock, obviously it's supposed to be that if you drop it, the case will take a bit of a hit rather than the phone, meaning that you're not going to end up shattering the glass front or back. At least, fingers crossed, that's what's supposed to be happening. So anyway, let's get it out of the box and put it in there. One thing it does say on the back of it is that it talks about that they're not going to mess around with packaging, basically reduce their footprint and everything. Which is a bit of a shame, because as you'll notice as I take it out of the box in a moment. But let's start off with, at the beginning, it hasn't got all the bit of plastic in the front that you don't need in the box. Now, So it's good that they haven't got the bits of plastic, but then they do go a bit daft with the stuff that you don't really need. Because here's a bit of cardboard on the inside telling you that it's got the lanyards. I get this out of the way first. Sorry, I forgot what order I've done the stuff in. Yeah, here's a bit of cardboard, fair bit of it actually, to hold on to 2 lanyards that you don't need. I would have liked it if the case was actually red buttons and stuff, but that's just my preference. Because I like black and red. If you've been watching the channel for some years now or know me personally, you'll know that. But yeah, look at all this cardboard to hold 2 lanyards, which you may or may not use. The lanyards, I don't know, this one is like a fluorescent orange rather than just like an orange as in the fruit orange. It's a fluorescent orange, even though the camera's not picking up like that, because I don't have HDR. The other lanyard, that orange is actually fruit orange for those little flake bits. They're quite thick, but I'll not be using them, so it's a waste. So as much as they're shouting about they're not, not making a lot of mess and putting stuff in the bin, they are putting stuff in the trash. It's because there's that bit of cardboard I don't need. That could have been printed on the base or even on the back. And then the lanyards, if I've got no use for them, what are going to happen to them now? So why give you a double choice as well? Just, give you one, and then if you don't like it, tough luck, you're going to have to go buy a different one. Or even better, don't give you any lanyards at all, so that if you do want one, you have to go get your own. But by all means, leave it in the design of the case so that you've got space for a lanyard to put in for the people that do want them. Personal opinion, I just don't like it when companies try to boast on how good they are at keeping the things to a minimum, and then they end up making a lot of extra mess anyway, just because they've said a bit of plastic on the front of the box. It's annoying. Anyway, back to the case. It fits nicely with the screen protector. Anyway, and after I forgo at take 21, I need to still get inside the case. So I've got some Tory lens protectors for the back, for the cameras on the back. So let's have a look. I'd shout about the company, but yeah, just call themselves Tory. It seems it looks like kind of like a 7, but Tory. So it's all the stuff as what it was for the screen protector for the front of the phone. More stuff, but anyway, a little bit here. This is kind of annoying about with, as in Take 21's boasting they don't need to, make a lot of mess. Whereas this company has put all this inside a tiny plastic bag that goes straight in the bin. They've got a plastic tray which goes straight in the bin. There's no need. Anyway, back to putting the lens on. The lens protector's on. So it's all clean like it was before. So let's give it a go and see how far we get. But it's just this getting applied to the back of the phone. And hopefully it's going to fit on there and protect the lenses and not get in the way of the slidey bit on the back of the case. So, ta-da! So it peels away quite easily. Now trying to apply it for the first time. Hopefully this is easier than the front of the phone for the screen protector. It does just fit on quite easily. You just got to line it up perfectly, that's all. And it sticks there. Obviously I've got fingerprints all over the lenses, but I can clean them in. But obviously if you do get these scratched up, all you got to do is pop it off and put another one on. And it does come with 2. So don't throw them away. Bit more cleaning. Make sure it fits inside the case. Clean off the Apple logo because it is very fingerprint magnet, that bit there. Clunk click. And the bottom of the case does have a USB port bit there, so that's nice. So it should all be nicely protected now. And yeah, it slides backwards and forwards just fine. It's a stiff slide, not because it's scratching the back, it's just that that's how it's built. It does lock into place when you open it up. So I'm really happy with this now. So hopefully my iPhone is nicely protected, even though the infrared light is flashing away on top of there. Well, I'm pointing up at the camera here because what I want to point out is that the camera is actually on an arm where it screws into place. And what I want to do is use this so that it too can go up there. I may buy another arm so we can do 2 shots at a time. I haven't decided if I want to sell the video camera. But either way, it'll give me a chance to put my iPhone up there. So this is MagSafe in the realms of it will just click into place. The box really doesn't tell you very much, and you can't really see it very much in the camera anyway. But that's it. And it's telling you that it does stuff at 90-degree angles, even though it shows you it sort of leaning at 50, which is kind of funny. Oh yeah, this bit is, so if you don't actually have a MagSafe case, or you don't have a MagSafe phone at all, what you can do is stick that on the back of the phone if you really must, but I recommend you stick it to the back of a case, and then you can use this gadget exactly the same way as I'm going to be using it, because my case has MagSafe built in. So that's nice that they give that little addition, so that pretty much 100% of whatever will stick on there, so any phone should work on there now. As you notice that the fact of there's a screwy point on there, which is good for what I need it for, but there's also enough there for a shoe so that you can slot it into place. And it also, this bit as you can see, rotates and clicks into place at 90-degree angles all the way around, obviously multiples of 90 degrees, but it too has also got a shoe on there, so if you want to, I don't know, put on a microphone or put on a like a little boosty light type thing, you can also do that. I'm wobbling it around quite a bit here and it's not falling off, which is very important. It doesn't sit quite like, you know, horizontal and vertical clicking into place. It sort of just holds there, so you're going to have to make sure it's in place yourself. But that should be good enough for my needs. And I'm just pointing out that you can do it either way around if you want the cameras to be on the left hand side of it or on the right hand side of it. So that's going to be my new mount. And it seems to be good enough. On to the next gadget. And here's the last thing. It's a gooseneck phone mount. And basically it's a gooseneck with a MagSafe on it so that I can attach my phone to it. What I use these sort of things for is by the side of the bed, so that I can annoy the wife and have the video playing in the middle of the night while I've got a bit of somnia going on. As you notice, the end of it has got sort of like a ball socket on the end of it. I'm hoping I can find something else that will do the same thing, but also actually charge the phone. At least the end bit, the gooseneck bit is fine, but you know, something basically lets me charge it. So it's quite simple to clamp it to the side of my bedside cabinet. I've already got one like this already for my Samsung, but it clamps on either side of the phone, whereas this will let me just have my iPhone slapped to it. So there's this bit. Basically I'm recording this a few days later from what I did for the main video. As we already know, I've got a gooseneck stand for by the side of the bed, and I already mentioned I want a charger. So I have bought a MagSafe charger which mounts to a car. you know, so in the air vents or onto your dashboard. USB charger, a thingy to measure it all up so it's nice, and then some instructions. Oh yeah, and if I can do this already, basically another one of these things that you can stick it to the back of your case if you don't have an iPhone. You can still maybe charge your phone through the back, and this will give you something to stick it to. And then here's the charger itself. It seems to be called Glow Plum. Let's put all the other stuff away. I'm going to use a different USB cable because I'm going to use a slightly, oh, quite frankly, I want to use a USB-C to C. That one's a USB-A to C. Let's get that out of the way. Now, to remove this, you undo the screw bit at the back, and you pull away, and you put that up there. As you may have guessed, I've already tested this. Sadly, it's too small. But, me being me, I still thought, try anyway, and as you can see, I jam my finger. So you don't do it, push it down with your fingers out straight so you don't hurt yourself. And then push, and it clicks on, and quite frankly, the resistance it would have had, like this one with tightening this up, is good enough. It's not, you can put your phone on, and it's not going to mess up. You know, it's not going to move out of the way. But let's get a USB cable in. Where is it? There we go. So I'll plug this into here because it's USB-C. Nothing particularly interesting to watch at the moment. Put it on. It says it's charging. It says in the box and everything that it can do 15 watts. So, you know, be careful with that. If you've got like a lower rated charger, you're going to get a lower rate charge. And as you can see, there's a blue light there, but it's not falling off. So what I'm going to do is leave it a bit of slack. But then I'm going to use some Velcro ties down the gooseneck and into the charger so that when I bend this gooseneck around, there's still a cable with it and everything like that. But it now means that I can be watching YouTube videos and seeing how everybody else is getting subscribers just before I fall asleep. But it's going to be fine. And then in the morning, I'll just take it off. So that's good. I'm happy with that. I hope that's been of some interest. As I said already, I'm going to put all the links to all the different gadgets I've bought. Maybe not the charging cable, but you know, everything else. If you want any questions from me, leave them in the comments area, and don't forget to check out the description for the links for the Patreon and for Discord. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe and notification bell. But as always, happy gaming.